Howdy. Some time ago, there was some news here in Finland, and it said something like if there aren't any weapons brought anymore to Ukraine, the war will stop. And it seemed to be a very bad news because the war would be over. And I thought, yeah, obviously, no one wants that the war stops. You know, what a crooked up society we are living in. So this is not a leopard, obviously. Yeah, I have been artistically active. But tigers are very interesting. In many, or like in Eastern societies where tigers live, still nowadays, somewhere in the forest, they have many tales in their history about their being very powerful and all kind of other things related to tigers. And when I watched the La Palma eruption, I had an epiphany. I have been talking about this earlier, but I show it now just once again. Because I think partially the tiger is assumed to be a powerful animal because it might resemble lava flows. And people somehow thought this must be a sign. I don't know. This is just what I think. But now let's go to something what other people think. For example, this which I just stumbled across, I haven't read this yet, so let's do it. RNA molecule uracil found in asteroid Ryugu samples 4 hours ago. Researchers have analyzed samples of the asteroid Ryugu collected by the Japanese space agency Hayabusa 2 spacecraft and found uracil, one of the informational units that make up RNA. The molecules that contain the instructions for how to build and operate living organisms. Nicotinic acid, also known as vitamin B3 or niacin, which is an important cofactor for metabolism in living organisms, was also detected in the same samples. The discovery by an international team led by Associate Professor Yashihiro Oba at Hokkaido University adds to the evidence that important building blocks for life are created in space and could have been delivered to Earth by meteorites. The findings were published in the journal Nature Communications. Scientists have previously found nucleobases and vitamins in certain carbon-rich meteorites, but there was always the question of contamination by exposure to Earth's environment, Oba explained. Since the Hayabusa 2 spacecraft collected 2 samples directly from asteroid Ryugu and delivered them to Earth in sealed capsules, contamination can be ruled out. The researchers extracted these molecules by soaking the Ryugu particles in hot water, followed by analysis using liquid chromatography coupled with high-resolution mass spectrometry. This revealed the presence of uracil and nicotinic acid, as well as other nitrogen-containing organic compounds. We found uracil in the samples in small amounts in the range of 60 to 32 parts per billion, while vitamin B3 was more abundant in the range of 49 to 99 parts per billion, Oba elaborated. Other biological molecules were found in the sample as well, including a selection of amino acids, amines, and carboxylic acids, which are found in proteins and metabolism respectively. Anyway, the compounds detected are similar but not identical to those previously discovered in carbon-rich meteorites. The team hypothesizes that the difference in concentrations in the two samples collected from different locations on Ryugu is likely due to exposure to the extreme environments of space. They also hypothesized that the nitrogen-containing compounds were, at least in part, formed from the simpler molecules such as ammonia, formaldehyde, and hydrogen cyanide. While these were not detected in the Ryugu samples, they are known to be present in cometary ice. And Ryugu could have originated as a comet or another parent body that had been present in low-temperature environments. The discovery of uracil in the samples from Ryugu lends strength to current theories regarding the source of nucleobases in the early Earth. Oba concludes. The OSIRIS-REx mission by NASA will be returning samples from asteroid Bennu this year, and a comparative study of the composition of these asteroids will provide further data to build on these theories. Yes, very interesting. We might be not alone, after all. And yeah, it's no wonder no one could come around or would come around here, because Earth doesn't seem to be a very friendly place. We are, obviously, once again, one step closer to nuclear warfare. Again, you somehow would expect that we would learn something. But no, it doesn't seem to happen. And let me show you just another thing. I stumbled across this when I started to make research about a new paper I just started to write, but it's about auroral display on surface conductivity anomaly polarity interfaces related to geomagnetic activity or cracks in the magnetic field. But anyway, William Gilbert, discoverer of the Earth's magnetic field. William Gilbert, pioneering researcher in magnetism who became England's most distinguished scientist during the reign of Elizabeth I. In the late 1500s, so more than 500 years ago, magnetic compasses were already being used by captains to guide their ships across the seas, but nobody understood how they functioned. Some people attribute the compass's northward pull to the North Star, while others attribute it to the Arctic's magnetic mountains. William Gilbert, an English physician, found that the planet itself had a magnetic field. Who was William Gilbert? William Gilbert, 1544 to 1603. The early modern period saw the life of William Gilbert, sometimes spelled Gilbert, along with Galileo Galilei and Johannes Kepler. He laid the groundwork for modern physics and is responsible for a plethora of breakthroughs in the realms of electricity and magnetism. After being born in Colchester in 1540, Gilbert began his medical training at St. John's College, Cambridge, in 1558. After finishing medical school, Gilbert moved to London in 1573 and quickly rose through the ranks, becoming president of the Royal College of Physicians in 1600. In 1601, Queen Elizabeth I named him her personal physician. Sadly, his time of honor was short-lived. The Queen passed away on March 24, 1603, and he moved either to London or Colchester on November 30th. He was a physician who also pursued his interest in scientific mysteries, first in chemistry and then gravitating, what a word for such a text, and then gravitating toward the study of electricity and magnetism. That's funny, I didn't notice this earlier. There may be two reasons for this intense fascination with magnetism. As an Englishman, he obviously encountered the compass-related issues that are crucial for shipping, and as a doctor, he undoubtedly was aware of the alleged therapeutic benefits of the magnetic stone for all of the recorded time. Long-standing reluctance prevented Gilbert from publishing his work. Although it wasn't published in London until the year 1600. By 1628, the book De Magnete had already seen 3 printings in Germany. As a definite work of electricity and magnetism, this book would be referenced for years to come because of the quantity of new insights it contained. But why did William Gilbert wait so long to release his book? His answers this in the preface of the book in a sarcastic way. Now listen, if you haven't until now. Now it's important. So William Gilbert said, "But why should I? In so vast an ocean of books by which the minds of studious men are troubled and fatigued, through which very foolish productions the world and unreasoning men are intoxicated and puffed up, rave and create literally broils, and while professing to be philosophers, physicians, mathematicians, and astrologers, neglect and despise men of learning. Why should I say, add aught further to this so perturbed republic of letters and expose this noble philosophy, which seems new and incredible by reason of so many things hitherto unrevealed, to be damned and torn to pieces by the maledictions of those who are either already sworn to the opinions of other men, or are foolish corrupters of good arts, learned idiots, grammatists, sophists, wranglers, and perverse little folk." 423 years ago, William Gilbert said this. You know, the saddest thing of all is that he is still quite correct with this opinion. But anyway, happy Tanksgiving to everyone. And we all should give a thank. Yeah. It is a privilege to have own thoughts. Probably most people don't really understand what I mean. But anyway, thanks. Bye.